Sophia here for my great challenge. Welcome back to my channel. I bet you didn't expect another video this week. I came back from work, showered, put myself together and decided that, well, you know what, tomorrow is Good Friday. And even though we are all in a crisis right now and most of us are going to have to celebrate Easter remotely and through Zoom app or FaceTime, it doesn't mean that we can't mark the occasion. So I'm making hot cross buns today. I'm going to share my recipe with you. Make sure you have a piece of paper and a pen to write down all the ingredients. It's not a very difficult recipe, but it does get messy because the dough gets really sticky and you get it all over your hands and whatnot. My dough is actually rising in the oven right now, so I have time to film this introduction. I did a little bit of research as to what's the big deal with hot cross buns, because we didn't have them in France, at least I don't remember them. Neither did we have the crown with the eggs in it. We have different types of cakes. For Easter, it's mostly related to chocolate, to be honest. But anyway, I did a little bit of research and it turns out that a monk in the 12th century decided to make those buns for Good Friday, hence the reason why there's a cross on it. Now remember, sugar was not really imported yet in Europe at that time. That came after 1492. So they were made with honey, and he would pour honey inside the cross and of course use it for the dough as well. Over time and over the years, people started putting confectioner's sugar and all sorts of things in the cross. You can put icing, you can put, well, that's what I'm going to do today, but you can still put honey, you can put chocolate chips, you can pour chocolate, you can do whatever you want because you do put a cross on top of the buns. So those particular buns were originally designed to commemorate Good Friday and the Passion of the Christ. That's the reason why there's a cross on it. But over time, people started eating them throughout the whole Easter weekend. That would be Friday, Good Friday, Saturday, and of course Easter Sunday. So I hope you enjoyed this recipe. I haven't made it in a long time, so I'm not sure how it will come out. But, you know, who cares? I wanted to do something a little bit special this year because Easter is filling, and the CEDAR too, if you are celebrating Passover. Happy Passover, by the way. It's feeling a little bit different. Like, you know, we're gonna have to watch our sermon of the TV live on YouTube, and it's different, but we can manage, and carbs help. So let's go ahead and make hot cross buns. So let's start with the ingredients. It's very difficult to film a recipe, by the way, so I'm going to try my best. We're going to start with flour, of course, because, you know, carbs. This is 6.5 to 7 cups of all-purpose white flour. I got 6.5 in there. So you put that in a big bowl. The best part of these particular hot cross buns to me are the currant and raisins. So you need a half a cup of dry currant and a half a cup of raisins, and I'm gonna try to not pick at them while doing the recipe. In this little ramekin dish here, I have 1.5 teaspoons of salt. This is a teaspoon of ground cinnamon, and then this is just a half a teaspoon of allspice. Over here I have 1/4 of a cup of granulated white sugar, 1/3 of a cup of Kerrygold butter. You all heard about Kerrygold. It's one of the best butters you can get at the supermarket. It's very rich, very creamy, very similar to the type of butter you would find in Europe. Kerrygold, this one is the unsalted variety. 2 large eggs. You're gonna need 2 tablespoons of water, 1 egg yolk. That's separate from these 2 eggs here. This egg yolk is actually to be used at the end to give a little gloss over your hot cross bun. I have 2 packs of, I need to put it this way. I have 2 packs of active dry yeast, and you want to check the expiration date on these, because if they're no good, guess what? Your dough will not rise. So I have 2 new packs of yeast here, and you need 2 cups of milk. And the first thing we're going to do is actually warm up the milk. It doesn't need to be hot, just warm, and add the 2 packs of yeast to the warm milk. So here I have my warm milk, and I'm just gonna go ahead and add my 2 packs of yeast. Okay, I'm just gonna let this sit for a little bit. And basically what the warmth of the milk does is activate the yeast. Okay, and set that to the side. So I'm taking a additional bowl here, and what I'm going to do is, I've already softened my butter. You can do that in a microwave very easily. Don't want to miss any here. See, it's not melted, it's just softened. Okay, so I have my butter here at the bottom. I'm going to add my sugar to it, my salt, allspice, and cinnamon, and 2 eggs. I'm going to start stirring this together. And start adding your flour. We're going to do 1 cup at a time. And we're only adding 3 cups of flours for now. My 3rd cup. So once I have this dry yet sticky dough here, what I'm going to do is transfer it to my other bowl that has the remaining 3 cups of flour. And as I'm transferring the dough, I'm just going to go ahead and add my currants and raisins, and I'm going to start adding my mixture of milk and yeast. You see how the yeast is already kind of getting puffy here, so let me just add a little bit here. And transfer this. And we're going to mix all of those together. So if you find that your dough is a little bit too fluid, just add a little bit more flour to it, because we need to knead this dough and you don't want it to be too fluid. That's more like it. Alright, so put that to the side. I need to clean my surface here. We're going to throw flour on it and we're going to knead our dough, and it's going to be very messy. It's going to go all over the place as though we're making marshmallows. So I've cleaned my bowl, and now what I'm gonna do is put a little bit of vegetable oil at the bottom here. I'm basically greasing my bowl. Put a little bit more. And I'm going to transfer my dough to it, and once my dough is in there and I got a nice ball, I'm going to flip it around. I want basically the entire dough ball to be greased up. So there we go. And you see how it's sticky, but it's very elastic, right? It sticks. Okay, so here's one side. And flip it. These are all the same methods when you make bread. So once I have my dough greased up on both sides, I'm just basically covering it with plastic wrap like this. I'm basically creating a nice vacuum here, and the whole bowl is going in the oven at the lowest temperature your oven will give you. It's usually 170 degrees, and I'm going to let the dough rise in the bowl for an entire hour. One full hour. It's gonna rise all the way up, and then when I come back I'll show you what we're doing with this dough. It's gonna require a lot of punching. So it's been an hour. Let's see what this looks like. Oh boy. Do you see what I mean? We got some serious dough rising. And don't go think it's over, because we gotta let it rise some more, but I have to punch it first. So, don't need this. See when you punch it? It goes back down, and that's the reason why you put oil, by the way. It allows you to take it out of the bowl without the dough sticking all over the place. You don't want to punch it too much, right? Because then it's gonna get you're gonna get very thick, dense buns. So now what I'm going to do, I changed surfaces, by the way. I'm going to put some flour on this, and I'm going to take my dough and cut it into tiny little buns about this big, okay? And I'm going to put them on a sheet that has, you know, spray on it, aluminum foil or whatever, and then they're going to have to go and... the dog's bothering the cat. I don't know if you can see that. Leave her alone. And then put them on the sheet, and off they go into the oven for another 45 minutes to rise some more. Then we can bake. My dough over right here. Now you do not want to manipulate your dough too much at this point, okay? And we're going to divide it That's the part that's a little bit difficult. So this is supposed to make 30 buns. So technically each one of these, again, don't manipulate it too much, is 15. Okay? So let me cut that in half again. Okay, out of each of these I have about 7 to 8 little buns. Alright, so Here I have 4. You see how I'm dividing it? And here in half I got 2. And out of this bowl here, I'm cutting it in half. Okay. And that gives you an idea of how big of a bowl you need. About this big. It's about the size of a golf ball. I'm just going to put it right there and place it on my sheet, and you put them about 2 inches apart. Sheets now, and what I'm doing is covering these with a towel, and I'm putting them back in the oven. Now you remember I have the oven at the lowest temperature possible, right? And for my oven that's 170 degrees, and we're going to let these rise again for a second rising, about 30 minutes, 45 minutes. All right, be right back. It's been 45 minutes. Let's see what it looks like. I hope you can see. Ooh, yes. Okay. See, it goes in a little bit more. This one looks even better. This is where the fun part comes. So we're going to cut across on all the buns. Okay, so you remember my egg yolk and water, which I haven't used yet. I'm gonna whisk that together. And I'm just using a brush and brushing my yolk over. They look awfully deflated, don't they? I don't know what this is gonna look like. We'll see. Like I said, I haven't made those in a long time, and to be honest, I don't remember them being all flat like this, so maybe I end up making some kind of flatbread. So, I have the oven at 375, and these are going in for 15 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes. Wish me luck, they look awfully deflated. A fail. They're flat. They're totally flat. I don't know what happened. Oh no! They look like my enthusiasm about the gym. I don't know which step I didn't do right. I bet they're still delicious, but they don't look like buns. And this, my friends, is how not to do YouTube. So, this is a total fail. And I don't know what happened. I'm gonna use that for my thumbnail. I don't know what happened. Maybe my yeast wasn't good. They're delicious. I'm trying to think, what step did I miss? I mean, they're eatable, but guess who is I mean, really, you can eat them, dunk them in coffee or whatever, but guess who's going to the supermarket and buy Hot Cross Buns? Oh, what a disaster this is. I'm still gonna put the video up, you know that, right? Because you guys need a good laugh. You do. This is a total disaster, and I think they're even getting flatter now that they're out of the this is like a Twilight Zone. Oh man, I'm not even embarrassed because I know that happened to you too. You want some? Okay. It's a little hot, be careful. Right, so this was a good example of how baking is a science. Somewhere along the line, something went wrong. And it looked like it was going well for a very long time, didn't it? Until I did the second rising. And maybe the second rising did them in. I don't know. I shouldn't talk while I'm chewing. They taste okay. It's not the greatest. But me and carbs, you know, I'll eat anything that has carbs and sugar in it. So listen, tell me down below, where did I mess this up? Because I want to learn, and I'll probably redo this video at some point, but I still want to post it because I think it's funny. You know, I mean, the Easter this year is a total disaster for all of us. We can't have a family over, we can't go see our family, we're all gonna be locked down for the entire weekend, and this represents coronavirus Easter 2020. It's a big flop. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the giggle at the end, and let me know if you know how to bake, unlike me. Let me know down below, where did I mess up? I must have messed a step somewhere, I don't know. But they're still eatable. They're not great. I'm definitely going to the store to buy Hot Cross Buns, you see, because I have to have Hot Cross Buns for Easter, and obviously I gotta leave this to the professionals, because this girl here, I got flat cross buns. You want more? I'll give you some. You can have them all if you want. Now, I'll eat them. We'll put them in coffee. Okay, guys, this was a big fail. I don't have any problem putting it on YouTube. You know why? Because it's real life, and I always keep it real with you guys. I'm not even embarrassed. I really am not. I just want to know why this is messed up. Give me a thumbs down, and I will see you in the next video. Happy Easter, everybody. Happy Passover. Please stay home if you can. These are terrible times we're going through right now. We all need a good laugh, don't we? So I hope I made you laugh with my flying saucers flat cross buns. And I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, you guys. Bye!